It's time for another 3 versus 3 on the Twin Rivers. This is going to be a slightly lower ranking game than I've been doing the last couple of days. This is going to be in the low end of the average Joe's spectrum. But hopefully we will see some interesting stuff. Twin Rivers always lends itself to good gameplay, unless you get people who are bound and determined to turtle, of which there are entirely too many, but maybe we'll be spared this game. Alright, on the northern side, we have Sacronoctum, Tora, and Slow-Mo. Yes, Slow-Mo. On the southern team, we have a DD84, Verosa, and Parzival. These guys are from 1,000 to 1,300 ranked. It looks like they're running a pretty good spread of factions. We have UEF and Double Sarah on the north, Seraphim, UEF, and Cybran on the south. The only one missing is Aeon. No love for the hippies today. Don't know why. Alright, going to bump up the clock just a little bit, and we will see where the game takes us. Tora is leaping out of the gate with, let's see, that is 2 mech marines and an engineer running down here to snag as much of this reclaim as he can, and then also pushing towards the front with his ACU. Looks like there was an air factory first for Slow-Mo, although there was no first bomber, which is slightly disappointing. Cybran Air on the southern team. Verosa has gone land first, as you should with a Cybran faction, and he is going air second. Second air factory for Slow-Mo. No land. We are going to see a glorious run by over here. There is a mech marine headed north at top speed, trying to snag that engineer. He is going to see it and kill it. There's a tank and a scout out, but that mech marine is up and away into the air player's base. Nope, returning, and is going to be sniped off by that Tham. Looks like neither air player... As soon as I open my mouth to say neither air player is as of yet going for an expansion, both of them build a transport. It's like everyone is trying to prove me wrong. 3 engineers headed for that transport. And we are going to see both go for the southern side. We get to see an expansion fight, people. They are not going to go to different ones. And see, what would be really nice is to see another drop over here for one or both of the players. 3 engineers versus 1 engineer. Yellow does have a slow... Blah. I am getting ridiculously tongue-tied. I keep wanting to say one thing and ending up saying another. Slow-Mo did have a head start with that initial land factory build, but when you're facing off against 3 engineers, it's kind of hard to come back from that. However, that engineer did come down here to try to start a point defense, but a bomber quickly resolved the situation. There's a bomber out for Slow-Mo as well, but Slow-Mo was slow to get that out, and the land factory's already down, and there is air protection down there. Up here, we're seeing a run-by DD894. Not sure what's going on with that game name there, but if it makes you happy, my good sir, by all means, keep it. He was successful in getting his units by. I love to see run-bys. Great strategic choice, and micro when you can successfully get them across. But they are going to be killed off by Tora before they do any major damage. The only damage done was some units dead and a couple of power generators. Not that bad. For some reason, there have been 3 engineers dropped over here. They're going to throw down a point defense and a radar. That is a pretty pointless decision. I'm not sure what he was trying to go for there. Nice job. Slow-Mo couldn't get the southern expansion, so you're going to go for the north. That would have been much better to place up here somewhere. It still would have been spotted, but the reaction time would have been far greater for Slow-Mo to try to get units over to it. At minimum, could have taken out this mass extractor. Potentially could have gotten a land factory up, maybe. I still don't think it would have worked. but it would have had a lot better chance. Bomber headed north, I am sure, to take care of that engineer. There is not a move order currently placed on it other than the one that it is executing. Looks like Parzival has managed to break the front here. There is a double comm on that side, so he does need to be careful. Triple comm. Tora's coming over as well, just to be sure of it. Oh man, they are going to shut him down and do it harshly. And seeing the point defense war, but this is what you do not want to do. This is exactly what you don't want to happen. You have 2 of your point defense built where they fire directly into that hill. That is a waste of mass unlike any other. Point defense period on a map like this is usually a waste of mass 80% of the time, but this is just reaching the point of absurdity right here. Need to watch your placement. Move a little further forward to get it on top of the hill, build it to one side or the other, or preferably don't build it at all. Especially when you're having power problems, that is not the time to start a shield and point defense war. Alrighty, seeing a massing of Tech 2 gunships for Verosa. Looks like the highest score is actually held by Parzival, which is a little odd, but understandable considering all of the units that he has killed. Slow-mo and Parzival appear to have the highest ecos currently. Verosa appears to be putting more of his mass into combat units. Those are not Tech 2 gunships, those are jesters. Holy mother of jester spam, Batman. That is ridiculous. Another poor choice for the Southern team. Why would you spam this many jesters? That could have paid for a Tech 2 air factory and 4 or 5 renegades. It's gonna work, but there's so much wasted potential in that. Oh my goodness. But Sacronoctum has taken an embarrassing dive out of the game, falling to Tech 1 at 14 minutes. Always painful to die to a Jester Snipe. I hate it. Alright, this is going to cause major problems for the Northern team. There is now a very large group of tanks covered by a small amount of anti-air, just going to camp out over here on this base. Those mongooses are going to try to deal with it. Seeing some good micro from Tora, actually, and as soon as I say that, he runs his mongoose directly into the units. Tech 2 bomber snipe coming in for slow-mo, but that is going to fail thanks to those swift winds. Swift winds are a great thing to have at your back. They're going to neatly and easily mop up all of those interceptors. Boom! Air control now belongs to the north. There's Tech 2 gunships and a large group of mercies. All it's going to take is one misstep from a comm. Parzival saying making Percies. He is making Percies. I thought he was misspeaking about mercies, but no, it is Percies. Say that 10 times fast. Tora trying to throw up a triad. And he is doing it the right way, building it right on the edge of the hill. Well done, my good sir. That is the way to do it. Tech 2 gunships coming out to help deal with those Ilshavas. Starting to see the mobile missile launcher spam that is inevitable when you're having a fire-based war. Tech 2 bombers trying to swing around the outside here, but they are going to get sniped off. And we do have an my goodness, a naval factory for slow-mo. Started the Tech 2 upgrade. I have to say that I severely disagree with that strategy. Oh, nope. Aha, Tech 3 anti-air saved your butt, DD. That is a good save. All of those Mercies disintegrating under the fire of that unit. Tora and Slow-Mo both have their ACUs out on the front. They're going to have to be very careful about this. There are a lot of Corsairs coming out from the southern side, trying their best to get a snipe on another one of those ACUs. As much as I hate turtling, at this point I would highly recommend getting a shield because there are Percivals around, and a Percy can knock out your ACU faster than anything. 1600 damage in the alpha shot. So, I mean, when you're camping out on 10,000 health, it doesn't take many Percys to one-shot you. I disagree with the Tech 2 Aeon factory because Aeon Tech 2 Navy does not have any kind of extremely long-range attack. Their cruiser does not have attack missile. While the destroyer does have 80 range, it's not enough to do any good base destruction down here. Tora does have Tech 3, probably, no, that is an engineer, not his ACU. His ACU is over to the right, as aforementioned. That is going to start walling up the left-hand side here, hopefully preventing any units from making it through. Tech 2 transport coming in to grab Slow-Mo. He is going to rush back to base. I would have died laughing if a Tech 3 mobile anti-air sniped that transport off as he was getting in it. That would have been hysterical. Tora does appear to have Tech 3, yes, on this side as well. 2 Tech 3 engineers over here building Tech 3 point defense. They're trying to wall themselves in. I can't say I blame them considering their strategic position, but at the same time, I can't help but think that by the time you have that many Tech 3 point defense, you could have invested your mass more wisely in another area. Seeing some Tech 3 mobile artillery out as well for DD. You have to pardon me, guys. I am still hanging on to this cough. I think I need to get more sleep because I am mentally and physically dragging even after 2 weeks of trying to get over this. Alrighty. What I would do is use a couple of Tech 2 transports to move all of this arty. Actually, just one transport full of artillery could take out the entire southern expansion. That would wipe out quite a bit of eco for Verosa. Be a very good option. Tech 2 artillery spam starting for Tora. This is what we get when we hit the defensive mindset in the 1300 or so range. A lot of them resort to turtling, and turtles can easily be broken by the right unit mix, as we're seeing here from DD. Building the Tech 3 mobile shields, great tool that Seraphim has, and using those Tech 3 mobile artillery. Restorer's going to come in and try to pop some of those off. An absolutely insane amount of interceptors, but unfortunately interceptors are no match for restorers. Restorers can eliminate them quite easily. I see a strap bomber. I thought there was more than one, but they must have been killed off by some of that air at some point. Gonna see a drop on the northern side. 2 Tech 3 tanks that is easily going to dispose of all of that eco up there. Now even more than ever, they need to be killing off the southern expansion if these guys are going to stand a chance in the long run. Now the one thing that this is going to be good for is that it will, no, why are you spamming more? Don't do that. Don't do that. Please. I have 130 income counting reclaim, of which you're getting quite a bit. Build something more interesting. Alright, that is a Galactic Colossus, mostly built by Slow-Mo, but assisted by Tora. The GC has been given to Tora, and he is going to march it right on down towards the front. That is going to pose some major issues for the Southern team. They do have a Fat Boy. They do not have a direct fire experimental. The Galactic Colossus, if they are not careful, will be able to massacre the front end. There is a couple of Tech 3 point defense. I think they may actually be able to deny it with the units that they have. GC charging in with Abandon, not really caring what units it comes into contact with. He's going to pull a little bit of micro there. I'm sure trying to evade the Fat Boy shots, but this is a losing battle. He needs to gather up Vet as quickly as possible. Already below half health, firing on Parzival, but that comm shield is going to save him. An overcharge. Couple of overcharges, and the watch from that Fat Boy is going to save his life. Alright, the Southern team has a Fat Boy and a couple of Strat Bombers, and the Northern team has a 28% built Galactic Colossus. That was an almost recovery by the Northern team, but it looks like they are going to fold. I really wish we could have seen a little bit stronger pushes and some more antagonistic behavior. Sitting back and turtling is not a good option when you're already behind. That just gives your opponent more time and more space to progress even further ahead of you. It is always better to take the offensive and start sniping things off. You want to get rid of stuff like this. You want to be looking for things to manipulate. You've got a lot of units in the back here, and up till a few minutes ago, yes, there is a Tech 1 transport, not anything else though. You could build a couple of transports and try to drop back here in the base. There's a Soul Ripper started. Have to see where that goes. But a few... Well, that is interesting. And we were able to get 2 Tech 3 engineers. I thought it was odd that there were gray units up here. He came up, built torpedo defense to kill that naval factory, secured and reclaimed with engineers, and then was able to drop off 2 Tech 3 engineers on the northern side there, throwing up TAC missiles, a TAC missile, point defense, shielding. Going to try to do some eco sniping up here, and Strat Bombers. Those things are cloaked. You're not going to see them coming. Slow-mo, just barely not surviving. I thought he was going to live through the first pass, but he did not. Oh, man. And that is going to wrap this one up. I love this proxy base here. My summary of this game is that the Southern team made some very critical mistakes early, but little aggressive moves. This proxy base, the tanks over here in this expansion to kill off that eco, a run by early game, some pestering around the edges. The Southern team came together and harassed and eventually killed the Northern team. The Northern team turtled, played defensively, did not take advantage of the opportunities that were presented to them, and lost because of it. This is a classic example of the best defense is a good offense. You want to harass the other team and knock them off balance. Alrighty guys, I hope we can learn something from this. That is going to be my only cast for today, and I'm going to tack this little reminder on the end here. There is only one cast today because I just wasted over 45 minutes going through replays. And I went through 3 and all of them desynced. I love the fact that you guys send in replays, but please, please preview them before you send them to me. You just set it in the background in windowed mode or something, run it at +10, check in every now and then. that little bit of extra time that you spend previewing the replay saves me hours a week going through games and having worthless games that desync, stuff where occasionally a replay will have an incomplete file. You can't just send me an epic game and forget about it. You've got to do the preview. Alrighty, guys, that is end of rant, end of cast, end of day. I will see you guys tomorrow.